Hi everyone, Darren Hunter here, and with Deniz Yusuf, we're talking about generating leads. Now, in a last video, we talked about contacting for sale properties by private owners, but today we're talking about contacting for sale properties that may be with another agency. So a little bit of an interesting point there, and some people might raise the ethical question. We're going to answer that, but firstly, Deniz, why is this strategy going to work? Tell us about that.
Well, why is it going to work or why does it work? So the reason why it does work, Darren, is not everyone sells their property. They don't get that expected, you know, return. So then the next question to ask is if they considered renting it. So it's a potential lead for you to get out there. It's more singular because especially if it's being sold through another agency, that it could be through your agency or it could be through other agencies or a sale only person, whatever the case is. So you need to be top of mind that you are the potential managing agent for it in the future if it doesn't sell.
So, Deniz, I think we're making it clear. We're talking about contacting properties for sale by owner occupiers, and the property could be vacant. Now, of course, we don't want you contacting the property if it's a rental property because clearly a management agreement is in place, and we are not here to teach you how to poach business. Okay, so let's just go to step one, Deniz, investigating to make sure that it is a property that we can actually ethically contact. How do we do that?
Well, there's a couple of ways. If you've got a sales team, you should be looking up the potential details and find out if they contacted your office, right? One of the sales agents in your team may know all the answers. They may know it all. Yep, they spoke to Michael, and Michael might say, yeah, they're currently selling it, or they've got a tenant in place already. But another easy way of doing it is read the marketing. It'll tell you if there's a tenant in there, they're going to give you the rent on return currently getting, right? So they'll be pushing to investors if there's a lease in place as well. So find out if they contacted your own agency, have a talk to the potential sales agent that was dealing with it, and read the advertising, right? So it's pretty easy. And they may have contacted your office in the past for property management as well. So that's an easy segue as well,
Mm.
Darren, because then you'd be giving them a call in that. But we'll get to that in the next step.
Oh, you could be sending them an email with a different email address and ask the question, is this property a rental property at the moment, or something like that, as well as an inquiry. So I think there's
Putting
various
an
ways and
inquiry is
means.
easy.
But we want to
Yeah.
make it clear, we're not there to contact them if a management agreement is already in place with another agent. And we want to make that clear. Okay, step two is making first contact.
Yes. So you can either, if they have made contact with your office and you have had a conversation with them, then by all means pick up the phone and congratulate them for their property being online. You've seen it that it's online. Good luck with the sale of the property. Hope it all goes well, etc., etc. So it's a congratulations. Well done. Great to see that you got up a sale. The marketing looks good. If it doesn't, it's okay to have a friendly poke and say, maybe change this photo or whatever. Help them, and it's very similar in a letter that you would send them as well.
Yeah. Okay. And of course, making it clear that we're from property management. So step three,
Most important thing, Darren, sorry, I didn't say that. Make sure you are clear you're from the property management department.
all right, step four, calculating time. Why is this important?
Well, it's really important to know when the next touch point's going to be because you don't want to make contact during that hot sale period. They're not interested. They're ultimately looking at selling the property, right? So if it's 90 days on average in your local area that it takes to sell a home, then you don't want to be contacting them 2 weeks later because they don't care. They're hot to sell. So you've got to calculate when is the pain starting to kick in. If it's 90 days on average, then your next reach point would be 60 days because they're starting to feel a bit squirmish. It hasn't sold yet, right? So that's how you would calculate that.
Yeah. Okay. Step 4, contacting again. Now we've got the timing right.
Yeah, so we've got that timing right. You're ringing them up, simply asking them, or you could email them, how's it all going? You notice that it still was, it's online. Has there been, and it's just really a touch point just to see how they are going. You can at this point offer, right? At this point, you can at this point have they considered placing a tenant in the property and then targeting investors if the property is a vacant or if it is an owner occupier. Have they considered it? Because we all know that banks do look at the rent as a form of income, and they could have, let's say, like a bridging loan if they do want to, or they could buy another property in using the equity of that current home and the rent as well. There's a couple of options there. So it's just offering, because the sales agent, Darren, it's their bread and butter. They may not have even recommended it yet. So if you're the first person, you're a property manager, and you're recommending that as an option, you're now the perceived expert.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's either you that's going to rent it, because if the property can't sell, then that salesperson's going to take it back to their rent roll. Someone's going to get it. May as well be with you. All right, step 5, staying in touch.
Yeah, definitely stay in touch. The next point that I'd be contacting them is, let's say, another 30 days time. Stay in contact with them, and then offer a rental evaluation. You know, um, you know, you can offer that at that point there. Stay in contact with them. You notice it's still for sale. The market is strong at the moment in the rentals. Give them some stats on it, and continue to educate them and stay in that contact with them. After let's say that we're talking about a 90-day period now, Darren. If they haven't touched base, if they haven't contacted you, then it's potentially a sign. Look, I'm not interested. Thank you anyway. The sales agent may ring you up as well. And look, and don't feel bad about a sales agent, because I'm telling you now, when a property goes online for market for rent, sales agents are watching, they're knowing, and they're calling your vendors, right? That's the game. It's the property management, it's the sales, it's the real estate game. So don't think you're doing anything unethical here. You're doing it right. You're congratulating them. You're touching them at a pain point when it hasn't sold, and then you're offering if they would consider going to management. Okay.
All right, so you're watching these videos. You need to grow your rent roll. Perhaps you plan to, yeah, I've got to put these things into place, but you haven't, and you do need to get results. Consider adding in one-on-one coaching or group coaching or even accountability as well. So just go to leadmachinesystem.com, take a look at the different components that we can put into place, or just drop yourself straight into Deniz's diary at leadmachinechat.com. Deniz can just go through your situation and have a look and see what's going to be the best fit for you when it comes to coaching. So thanks, everyone. We'll look forward to seeing you on the next video.